This is Eddie Marcus here again. This Sunday is going to be Father's Day, and many people will be involving themselves in many different things as a recognition of celebration of what Father's Day means to them. Sometimes doesn't actually express what it means, but when they're trying to do things, it is reflected in what it is available to them, their source. And I always think of Father's Day as something more than just my dad, who was instrumental in bringing me into the world, but deeper than that. I want to talk to you in this moment so you think you are loved. You think you're loved. Well, for all of the people in the world that you know, if you wanted to count the ones up that truly loved you, it would not exceed your 5 fingers. Now you got 10 fingers. It would not exceed your 5 fingers. Now, what do I mean when I say it won't exceed 5? You see, when you speak of love, love is something real. It's not pretentious or something that man has come up with. It is real. And in order for you to know that love is real, you got to know what love is. And what is love? Love is God. Love is not what you can do for somebody. Love is God. Love is what you are. That's what love is. So when you think about it in that context, how many people do you think love you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, for some time I have been given a message to share with you. And various times when I'm not looking at you, I can say it. A lot of times I refrain because I know that it's going to really hurt your feelings to the extent that you will get mad with me. And I ain't want you mad with me. I just didn't want to make you mad with me. But there's an expression that goes, you must love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy body, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the greatest of all laws. This is the greatest part of this computer, humankind, and life. This is that part that is always required in order for the computer to have any life, true life. Well, what is the next power source? What is it? It says that thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Love thy neighbor as if it were you. Now, you're not going to do anything to hurt yourself. And when you look at others and see yourself, those yous ain't going to hurt you. Now, that's fantastic. But you don't know that. You see, we have been trained to be who and what we are. We are docile people. Docile. We have been trained to accept certain things regardless of how it affects us. We just accept it. Docility. Accept it. And in every walk of life, that character trait, it follows us. Even into the church, they got it where it keeps us null and void. And that goes to everybody who does not believe. And I'm not talking about those 5 people that you can say that love you on your 5 people that represent your fingers that might love you. No. I'm talking about a love that's bigger than that. I'm talking about knowing who and what you are. You see, here is a benefit that you have not known. Heaven is at your disposal at all times. Now, you don't know that because we think that heaven operates the way that the world operates. Heaven is at your disposal at all times, even in this situation, even in the Holocaust, even in the lion's den, even in the fiery furnace. Heaven is always at your disposal for those who know it. You see, if you love the Lord thy God with all their heart, all their body, with all their soul, and with all their mind, and your neighbor as yourself, you're going to act like it. Always. And whatever situation you find yourself in, you still going to act like it. You're going to act like it. And when you have, for instance, this world that we live in, out of our docility, there is someone that's priming us. There's someone that's using us. See, we're being forced to act this way for the benefit of something, and it's not you. We're being trained to operate this way for something, for the benefit of something, but it's not you. Now, this applies to all of you. I know some of you are really wealthy, but your dreams still have not been met. And when you start looking at your dream being met, you're just as far from your dream being met as the poorest man in town. Because it is not material things. Oh, those things are for you. They are from God. They are for you. But it is through the love. See, since we're in this world and we required to do right. Say, for instance, you pass a law. You take vets and you take them into war. They kill and be killed and get maimed. Come back home and have to beg for the ability to get some prosthetic arms or legs or someplace to stay. Now they've gone and killed and was willing to die, and many of them have died. And these come back hurt, and then they got to beg. The veteran believes in the system, but the system is failing the veteran. When I say the system, I'm talking about all of the people, government, the citizens, everybody is failing the veteran. But that's the way the world operates because it doesn't care about you. Now, when God is your power source, when love is your power source, you're saying you're not going to kill anybody. And you're saying when they try to punish you that you can't be punished. If they try to take your house, they cannot take your house. Why? Because your house is a gift from God. And you will stand up and represent your right to have a house as you desire it. And they can't shut you up. They put you in prison, but they're not going to make you deny God just to stay out of prison. Many times, many people who will take the stand will be killed. But they will be killed because they are not going to allow anyone to cause them to deny God. Why? Because if they believe, and to come to this level, they know that all of existence is under the authority of a power. They recognize that power's position in their own lives. And if that power is there, hey, if somebody try to kill you, what, can't the power take care of you? And if your faith is there, you act like that. You act just like that. You act just like that. And nobody can stop you. And as you stand up against the powers that be, as you stand up against all of the evil in the world, when you stand up against all these laws that are messing over people, you will feel so happy. You will feel so wonderful. You'll feel so free. Man, woman, I'm telling you what I know. And the fact that somebody would dare kill you is the greatest thing that can happen to you. The greatest thing that can happen to any human being on earth is that their lives are taken willingly, giving it up. in the authority of love, in the authority of God. That means standing up for what's right and not going to be shaken. In other words, 99 and a half is not enough. 100. And you got a reward, I tell you. Now, I'm telling you this, right? And I know all of you are wondering, if you, not now, you will be later, that since I'm telling you this, am I willing to do this? Can I do this? Will I do this? Or if I won't, then I have no right to say these things to you. And yet I know that since I have exercised that right, and it has no value unless I prove it in my own life, and I must prove it in my own life, it means that I must know that death is all around me every day and every night. And it might just strike at any time. But I tell you what, peace and prosperity and joy for every human being on earth. To live out your own dreams. To exercise the gifts and talents that God has given you, so that the ideas that you as a people, as a common collective body desire, that ability rests in if not in you alone, it rests in the body, to create and establish the desires and dreams of each of your hearts, and to go so far beyond. Why? Because that's how God operates. God has extended God's power in each of you, but you got to claim it. And in order to walk in heavenliness all the time, you got to stand up for what's right. I don't care if somebody's going to throw your butt in jail. Can't wait. And if they don't make a change, that when you let out, you can't wait to get back to that spot. Let them know you ain't been bought. You're no coward. Why? Because God lives in you. God lives in you. And how do you know God lives in you? Because you're not trying to hurt them. You're just standing up for what's right. And what is right is good for everybody. And you receive the blessing that only God can give. They say the world didn't give it to you, and the world can't take it away. So, you think you are loved. I got to let this thing go now. I'll talk to you later. This is Eddie Marcus here again. Bye-bye.